And I'm back with more Tales of
Are you just
Arise.
going to keep standing around or what?
Sorry, I'm just getting prepped over here.
Yeah. Sorry, Shionne. Well, but yes, we have Shionne and Alphen, who are running away from the warriors of Balsef. And we're pretty much starting the game as is. So let's fucking go. We're apparently part of a resistance group that tried to capture us, but can't really capture us. The general gist of it is Shionne is like Rogue from X-Men. She can't be touched. Otherwise, people get hurt. Alphen has no memory, can't feel pain. Fun times. So Shionne has this crazy-ass blazing sword at her disposal, but apparently only Alphen can touch it because, well, of course, the whole not feeling pain thing. Doesn't mean he can't be hurt, just can't feel pain. So Shionne's job is to heal him, which is why I'm going to control them. So, there you go. Nice little setup. Calaglia. Orbis Calaglia. And yes, my voice is slowly starting to get better.
That's...
Glanamede Castle. Stronghold of Lord Balsef. Self-imposed ruler of all Calaglia.
I've never seen it from this close before.
That's it, all right. And next to it are the gates of fire. Take a good long look while you still can. That wall is what we've come to tear down. The only thing standing between us and freedom.
Freedom.
Let's go. Be careful. If you get close to a Zoogle, they'll attack.
Alright then. Changing controls. Well, I've already done that, but thank you. So my whole job right now is to not press any of the buttons except for circle. If I need to heal, I'll press triangle. That's why I put the controls the way I did. So, nice thing for me is I can stay back, and I just need to watch what Alphen's AP is. So yeah, now you know why I gotta be careful with my trigger finger.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
So yeah, it's gonna get a lot
I'm
harder,
sure I can put this to use.
even on, you know, this
Don't
easy-ass
fight any
difficulty.
enemies you can otherwise avoid, all right?
Makes sense. If we try to take them all on, there'll be no end
Yeah,
in
that
sight.
guy, no.
You sure won't hear me complaining.
Yeah, that guy's a nope right now. You can beat him, but that's a nope right now. I would rather not. So anything but those rock guys, you probably fair game, but no.
Let's stop a moment to catch our breath.
But I've barely worked up a sweat.
Speak for yourself. What do you want, a medal? Doesn't look like we're being followed. Fail to grab these rare moments of quiet when you can. You'll end up regretting it later.
You're the boss.
Huh. Alright. So this is previous cutscenes you viewed. They will tab out things. Cutscenes or skits. If you're new to Tales, any of those comic book scene-looking things are what are known as skits. They will be dotted throughout the game quite a bit. Thankfully, they're voice-acted. And, you know, Tales has had a way of doing them for a long time, and that's the way they do that. Major cutscenes, the ones that are, you know, full-on CG, in movement and stuff, probably not as much, but who knows. But again, you can also get stuff like camping out to get some food, to raise some stats. You can do it to raise your experience, you know, per fight, CP, what have you. You can also use it to learn a bit more about your party members that you choose, and that persona type thing. It's a minor thing. Don't expect anything like a social link, but it's there.
Normally, we should take turns standing guard, but this first time, I'll watch over things so you two can rest easy.
I've never just sat and watched a fire like this before. It's surprisingly soothing.
Well, aren't you getting comfortable? You realize there are still Zeugles prowling around out here, right?
Ah, don't be a spoil sport. It's important to let your mind and spirit relax. Does you a lot more good than you might think.
And yeah, if you miss any of those things there, you can do it. I'm trying to read the R2? R1, okay.
Zephyr, why aren't you concerned about who I am?
You feeling left out, son?
No, it's not that. But...
You said you wanted to fight so that you can live a free man. At this point, that's all that matters. Even if it somehow turned out you were a Renin, it wouldn't be such a big deal.
A Renin?
Until we know who you are, we can't rule anything out. Besides, we've already got Shionne with us. At this point, what's one more Renin as long as they're on our side?
So you don't see every Renin as an enemy?
Our goal isn't to hunt down and kill all Renins. We only arm ourselves as much as we need to set ourselves free. If you can believe it, not every Dahnan agrees with what we're doing either.
Are you saying we have enemies among the Dahnans?
Not quite. They're just not up for rebelling, per se. The thing you have to remember is that everyone has their own path to walk.
I'm not sure I understand.
That's okay. Just focus on what we have to do right now. However, the time will come when you'll need to decide what to do for yourself. A Master Core, huh? Now I see. So that's why Balsef's cronies were so desperate to catch her.
Is that what it's called? The jewel in her chest?
Oh, right. You don't remember a damn thing, do you? Fair enough. Guess it's time to fill you back in. Tell me, you ever wonder why we Dahnans are made to work ourselves to the bone, day in, day out?
Well, when you put it like that, I always just assumed we were mining resources for them.
And don't you think it'd be quicker if they used all that high-powered tech they have? Why go to all the trouble of relying on weak human labor? Listen, what the Renins are really after isn't resources or minerals. It's astral energy. They're harvesting the astral energy that sleeps inside all matter in life forms.
Live
They're doing
stream.
it the same way they have for the past 300 years, using us Dahnans as mere siphons.
Live
Right.
stream, live
They have
stream.
machines for minerals, but extracting from Dahnans requires spirit cores. Any astral energy collected passes through a spirit vessel on its way to being stored in a master core.
But why go to the trouble of collecting all this energy in the first place? Do they really need all that juice just to use astral arts?
It determines the sovereign.
Sovereign? Is that the Renin ruler?
Exactly. 5 lords, each doing whatever it takes to gather as much astral energy as they can and store it in their master cores. Whichever of them manages to accumulate the most power at the end of their contest is crowned the ruler of the Renin motherland. A new crown contest, as they call it, is held every decade or so.
So you see, the Master Cores are the receptacles in which the Lords store their power. And we Dahnans are sacrificed, so the Renins can choose their new ruler.
That's insane! You're telling me that's what our people have been dying for this whole time?
Relax, hero. You're not the only one who's bent out of shape about the whole thing. There are two things that I haven't been able to get my head around yet. What business would a Renin have stealing a Master Core? And what's the deal with that blazing sword?
I think the sword is a physical manifestation of the Master Core's astral energy. As for why it took the shape of a sword, well, I don't know any more than you do. Honest.
And that stuff about needing your permission to use it? What was that about?
I'm the only one of us who can control the Master Core to some extent. Without me to adjust the flow of astral energy, the sword can't take a physical form.
What do you want out of this? You may be one of them, but you don't strike me as the ruthless oppressor type.
I'm going to take down all of the Lords.
Never thought I'd say this, but I like the cut of your jib, Renin. Very well. As far as we're concerned, the struggle continues either way. And with that sword on our side, our chances of victory just increased. That is, of course, assuming we can count the two of you in.
Fine by me. After all, it sounds like we're after the same thing anyway.
Honestly, I'm still a little confused by all this. But if it's a choice between this or going back to being a slave, then I choose to fight.
Yeah.
Then it's settled. Together we'll overthrow the Renin Lords. And first up on that chopping block is Balseph, the wild beast. Sound good?
Nice. Oh!
I've gotta hurry.
Duh. That's, not good.
We have another secret hideout in Ulzebek, not far from here. We should be able to meet up with our comrades there.
Oh, yeah.
Can you even see out of that thing? Like, at all?
Of course I can. How else do you think I managed to avoid tripping everywhere I go?
What is that thing anyway? It doesn't look like anything Dan and I've ever seen.
Beats me. I don't remember anything about my past. When I came to, I was already wearing it. If I could get it off, I would. Damn thing makes it hard to eat. And I can't scratch my face when it itches. It's the worst.
Honestly, I'm just impressed you've managed to survive this long looking like that. I'm sure you attract attention wherever you go.
Most of the other Dahnans don't pay it any mind. It's in everyone's best interest to just keep their heads down, focus on their work, and pretend they don't notice.
What about the Renin soldiers? Didn't they notice?
The guards? They're more the kill first, ask questions later type. Be in the wrong place or step out of line and you're dead. Mask or no mask. That said, as long as you keep your head down and don't cause trouble, they mostly ignore you. Honestly, sometimes they don't look all that keen to stir up trouble themselves. A friend of mine said it's because if they kill us without a good reason, it could delay the work and put them behind schedule. At that point, it'd be their necks on the line. You should know more about all that than me, though, right?
I don't serve any of the Lords. But I see what you mean. After 3 centuries of Renin rule without much upheaval, it's possible the soldiers might be losing their edge. All this trouble we've caused might be the first excitement they've had in a while.
Well, I don't plan on getting killed for their amusement.
So these skits, they look a lot like how Phantasy Star 4 did them. It's very comic book-esque. The original game used to do, or the most recent ones anyway, used to do like a big strong line, and they would do like anime cutouts. Now it's more almost comic book like, and they use the CG models. It is a definite improvement. If you're wondering why I'm playing on the PS5 versus PS4, load times, totally, absolutely. There's no load times in this, because sometimes later on in the PS4 version, I noticed like loading would become an issue. So this is kind of nice.
Cut it out. Didn't anyone ever tell you it's rude to stare?
I know I already asked you this, but are you sure we haven't met somewhere before?
What's so hard to understand? I'm Renan, you're Dahnan. There's no way. Besides, I'm from Lenegus. Trust me, wherever you were before you lost your memory, we've never crossed paths.
Lenegus? You mean the same Lenegus that's up in the sky? I've heard it called the Renan's Castle, but I never imagined people actually lived up there.
Well then, where did you think we all lived? Didn't you see the Renan Lords descend for the crown contest?
And how long ago was that?
Well, the current contest started 7 years ago, so...
Then I wouldn't remember.
Just how far back do you remember?
About a year, give or take. That's how long ago Doc found me.
1 year. Then no. I'm sorry, but there really is no way we could have met.
Guess not.
Also, apologies if I intersperse the game with a lot of skits, especially later in the game. It is a lot of, I don't know if I'd call it unnecessary dialogue, but it does fill in a lot of gaps.
Whenever you find some, make sure to grab it.
So,
Terrible, huh? Good to know.
Definitely. What could this be?
But the nice thing too is it's also a break for me because I don't have to speak or talk or anything like that. Not just because I'm cold, but also because I'm dealing with wrist issues right now. So having a break from holding a controller is actually not a bad thing every once in a while. I know that sounds really awkward, but still.
Don't go charging off like that. Guess we gotta roll with it. How's this? See ya. Here I come. How's this?
So much like East, you can do a perfect dodge and get a few extra seconds.
I still got a ways to go.
Nice. Huh? Accurate.
Normally I don't pick on the weak.
Rising Wyvern!
Take it! You're mine!
Swallow blade!
See ya.
Oh, not done!
There! It's over!
Swallow blade!
Mega Ray!
Take this!
One final push.
Right!
Give them all we got.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
It's over!
Here I go!
How's
Sight
this?
it!
Swallow blade!
So yeah, Alphen and Zephyr are going to do a lot more damage.
I'm sure I can put this to use.
I'm just there to hold true. You're going to need those stones.
What a weird stone.
I sense a strange power from it.
So that's
We
for
should
like
gather as
crafting
many
and
as we
stuff
can
for better
find.
weapons. Also, sorry if I'm cutting over the dialogue of like in the corner, but shit happens. I'm not used to talking so little. It's been but 6 months since I had that kind of luxury. Ulzebek. Alright. Lovely looking place. Ugh. Looks like
Okay, people, this is it. Ulzebek.
No
looks as
sign of
shitty
any
as everywhere
Renan
else.
guardsmen.
The Renans aren't as populous as the Dahnans. Probably figure stationing guards in a place like this would be a waste of precious manpower.
So this is where the next safe house is?
Yes. The last place they'd think to look for enemies is on their own doorstep.
That is, assuming anyone actually made it here before us.
Zephyr!
Looks like we needn't have worried. Come on.
Alright. Get in the door.
Zephyr, you made it! See? I told you there's no way Zephyr would have kicked the bucket.
Fine, you were right. So, what's the plan?
Well, we've got an ace up our sleeve and the enemy's in disarray. I say we strike while the iron's hot.
So we're finally going head-to-head with Balsef.
That's right. We can't afford to mess this up. It's now or never.
Then now it is! We've all been waiting for this day for far too long!
You sound too
Leave the plan to
enthusiastic.
me. In the meantime, yeah, you two need to do something about your outfits.
Huh?
I have just the thing for your size. Stay right there, okay?
Huh?
Ta-da! I told you, it fits like a dream.
It's fine.
I'm afraid we don't have any Renan clothing. I could find you some Dahnan outfits. But something tells me you'd rather pass.
Is this really that important?
In case you need reminding, I'm here because our interests overlapped. Nothing more. At no point did I say I've given up being a Renan. Now, let's play nice. How about you ask Nate and see what he says? He's our one-stop shop for info around here. With any luck, he might just know something.
Alright. Yay. So yes, this is a lot of these outfits are locked behind DLC because of course they are, but you know, the game has a few.
Try to be careful not to stand out too much. You're the only Renan around here, you know.
I know. I was just thinking about how communal it feels here, even though it's only supposed to be slave quarters.
Huh? Oh, yeah. When you put it like that, I guess it is different from heavily patrolled Mosgul. Were you expecting something more depressing?
It's likely a sign that Balsef doesn't think you guys can do anything to him.
What?
I mean, if Balsef thought the Crimson Crows actually posed a threat to him, you'd figure he'd be trying harder to suppress them.
You... No. You're probably right about that. All of the other Dahnans that aren't with the Crimson Crows accept the Renan's rule as simply a fact of life. From the day we're born, no, probably even before that, it's been drilled into us that the only purpose our lives have is to help select the next sovereign.
If they don't like the status quo, then they should fight it. Otherwise, they're endorsing it either way.
I see it differently, but that's just me. Speaking of Renans, do all of them think about things the way you do?
I won't deny that among my fellow Renans, power and status are everything. However, that isn't what this is about for me. I have something I need to do. And I'll do whatever it takes, and use whoever and whatever I need in order to get the job done. To hell with power.
Whew. Well, anyway, Shionne and Alphen are two sides of a coin. I will say that much. Anyway, I will call it an episode, and I'll see you guys next time.